Have you ever shared your dreams with someone, only to feel judged, doubted, or even laughed at? Have you ever opened your heart, only to realize that not everyone claps when you win, and not everyone cares when you struggle? Life has taught me one thing: not every story needs to be told, especially not too soon. Some chapters are meant to be lived in silence, in pain, and in patience. Not posted, not explained, not justified. Because sometimes, the more you speak, the more they doubt. And the more they know, the more they try to stop you. This is a lesson I learned not from books, but from life. And today, I want to share it with you. In this noisy world, everyone wants to be seen. Everyone wants to be heard. People rush to announce their next big move, post their goals, share their dreams, talk about their plans, hoping for applause, support, validation. But what they don't realize is that every time you speak too soon, you give people a chance to kill your dream before it even begins. Let me tell you something I've learned the hard way. Silence is not weakness. It's not fear. It's power. When you're silent, you're not hiding. You're protecting. You're protecting your ideas, your energy, your direction. Because not everyone you tell will understand. And more importantly, not everyone wants you to win. In the early days of my life, when I told people I wanted to build an internet company in China, they laughed. The internet was new. China didn't trust online payments. People told me, "Jack, you don't even have a background in technology." And they were right. I didn't. But I had belief. I had clarity. I had a vision. And I kept most of that to myself. If I had tried to convince everyone that it would work, I would have wasted all my energy explaining instead of building. And that's what many people do. They explain, until they run out of energy, until they start doubting themselves because others doubted them first. Silence is how you protect your belief when it's still growing. When a seed is planted, it doesn't shout, "Look at me." It grows in darkness, silently, away from the spotlight. It breaks through the soil when it's strong enough to handle the sunlight. That's how you must treat your dreams. When you're working on something important, something that truly matters to you, protect it. Guard it like a secret. Let people wonder what you're doing. Let them guess. Let them assume you're doing nothing. Until one day, they see what you've built and they're speechless. You don't owe anyone your story. You don't need to prove yourself to people who never believed in you. You don't need to share your goals with those who won't lift a finger to help you. Their doubts are not your responsibility. Instead of telling everyone your next move, make your next move so strong that it tells everyone who you are. Every time you speak, you spend energy. And if you're not careful, you'll spend so much of it trying to convince people that you'll have nothing left to create. The real power lies in staying focused while the world watches in confusion. The real power lies in doing the work without the need for applause. Sometimes the loudest one in the room is the weakest, the one who moves in silence. That's the person building an empire. So learn to love the quiet. Be comfortable in the dark. You're not lost. You're growing. You're not behind. You're preparing. You don't need to post everything. You don't need to say anything. Let your silence build the masterpiece. Let your success be your announcement. Because silence, when you're focused, becomes thunder when the world finally hears what you've done. Your vision is your treasure. It's personal, it's powerful, and it's delicate. Especially in the beginning. When it's still new, still forming, it's like a flame in the wind. One wrong word, one discouraging look, one careless opinion, and it can be blown out. People love to give advice. They love to comment on your plans, not because they understand them, but because it's easy to criticize what they don't have the courage to try themselves. They'll say things like, "That's too risky. You're dreaming too big. What if it fails?" They'll dress their doubt as concern, but it's not about protecting you. It's about projecting their fear. And that's why you must protect your vision. When I started Alibaba, even my closest friends said, "Jack, this will never work in China." I understood something then. Not everyone is supposed to see what you see. They don't have your eyes, they don't have your heart, and they don't have your hunger. Your vision is not their responsibility to understand. It's yours to build. Too many people make the mistake of opening up their dreams to the wrong audience. They get excited, they share, and then, boom, doubt enters. Not from within, but from outside. That's how confidence dies. That's how beautiful ideas fade. Think of your vision like a blueprint for a building no one has seen before. If you show it to someone who only knows how to build small houses, they'll say, "It's impossible, it's too tall, it won't stand." But you're not building for them. You're building something they've never imagined. And that means you must learn to move without applause and grow without permission. Sometimes you have to believe in silence, build in silence, and win in silence. Your vision doesn't need to be loud, it needs to be clear. It needs to be alive inside of you, not posted online for likes or shared in rooms full of empty opinions. Remember this, you don't owe the world an explanation while you're building something the world has never seen. There will be days when you doubt yourself, days when you want to scream your frustrations, days when you feel like no one understands. That's normal, but don't hand your vision to someone who might drop it. Protect it, nurture it, hold it close. The world will see it when it's ready. And when it's undeniable. And when they finally do see it, when they realize what you've built, it'll be too strong to criticize, too big to ignore, too real to question. The same people who once doubted you will say, "I always knew you could do it." Smile, but remember, you did it not because of them, but despite them. So guard your vision, feed it with action, water it with consistency, and let it grow in peace. You don't need the whole world to see what you're doing. You just need the discipline to keep going and the patience to reveal it when it's ready. Protect your vision like your life depends on it, because one day it just might. Not everyone is meant to understand you, and that's okay. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting others to get it, to understand your hunger, to understand your pain, to understand your vision. But the truth is, they won't. Not because they're bad people, not because they don't care, but because they've never lived your life. They've never felt your fire. When I was young, I failed my college entrance exams twice. People told me I wasn't smart enough. I applied to over 30 jobs and got rejected by every single one. Even KFC didn't take me. People laughed. They pitied me. Some even advised me to give up and be realistic. But they didn't know what I carried inside. They saw failure. I saw fuel. They saw rejection. I saw redirection. They couldn't understand why I kept going, but I didn't need them to. You see, when people don't understand your journey, they'll try to label it. They'll say, "You're too ambitious. You're wasting your time. You should settle down." Why? Because your courage threatens their comfort, because your growth makes their stillness uncomfortable. But let me tell you something important. You don't owe anyone understanding. Your story is your own. Your battles are your own. And your mission? That's something only you are meant to carry. If you keep waiting for everyone to approve, you'll never move. If you keep explaining your dreams to people who have stopped dreaming, they'll shrink it to fit their limits. And you'll start questioning yourself. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should stop. But deep down, you'll feel the truth burning inside you. This is your path, not theirs. So stop looking for acceptance from people who were never built to see what you see. Stop watering down your purpose just to be understood. The people who truly matter, they'll see your effort. They'll respect your discipline. Even if they don't understand your vision yet, they'll support your right to chase it. And the rest, let them talk, let them doubt, let them stay confused. They're not supposed to get it because they weren't called for what you're building. I used to worry about what people thought of me. I used to try to explain myself, but then I realized the people who misunderstood me back then, they still talk about me now, but they don't laugh anymore. They ask how. That's what happens when you stop trying to be understood and start being undeniable. So if you feel misunderstood, isolated, doubted, don't be discouraged. It means you're doing something different, something uncommon, something bold. And that's not supposed to feel comfortable. Keep going. Let the world misunderstand you now, and let it admire you later, because you were never meant to fit into their expectations. You were meant to rise beyond them. Not everyone will understand your journey. They don't need to. It's not theirs to walk. It's yours to finish. There comes a point where words are no longer enough. You've explained yourself. You've defended your dreams. You've told people your plans, but they still don't believe you. They still look at you with doubt in their eyes, like you're chasing something too far, too fast, too foolish. That's when you stop talking and you start building. Because there's one language the whole world understands: results. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. Let your success speak on your behalf. Let the outcome silence the critics, the doubters, the non-believers. When your actions become louder than your explanations, that's when the world starts to listen. When I was building Alibaba, people said, "Jack is crazy. He's dreaming too big. He's just a teacher. What does he know about business, about the internet?" I didn't try to argue. I didn't waste time proving I was worthy. I just kept working, kept improving, kept showing up. And one day, the same people who doubted me wanted to invest in me. That's how it works. People will always doubt what they can't see, so don't try to draw them the whole picture. Just paint it with your progress. Build quietly and let the finished masterpiece be your proof. Let your sleepless nights, your sacrifices, your discipline, your failures, let all of that become part of the story they never saw coming. One day you'll walk into a room and you won't need to introduce yourself. Your work will speak for you. It's easy to talk about goals. It's easy to promise big things, but in the end, only two things matter: what you built and who you became in the process. Not the plans you talked about, not the ideas you posted online, but the reality you created with your own hands. And here's the best part: success doesn't need to scream. Success is quiet, powerful, undeniable. When people see real results, they stop questioning, they stop criticizing, they start studying you, they start wondering how you did it and why they didn't. Let your success become the story that others use to inspire their own. Let your transformation be so visible, so strong, that no one can ever say, "You just got lucky." Make your results the reason they can't forget your name. But remember this: don't chase success to prove them wrong. Chase it to prove yourself right. Let your growth be the reward. Let your peace be the win. Let your journey be enough, even if no one claps for you right now. Because if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up, if you keep building in silence, your success will be too loud to ignore. You won't need to explain anything anymore. The story will be told in your achievements. So speak less, do more, stay focused, stay patient, and when the time is right, let your success do all the talking. Turn rejection into fuel. You're going to hear no more times than you can count. You'll get rejected, overlooked, underestimated, not once, but again and again. It's not fair, it's not easy, but it's necessary, because rejection isn't the end. It's a signal, a sign that you're on a path most people won't dare to walk. And if you learn how to use it, rejection becomes fuel. I've been rejected more times than most people have even tried. I failed my university entrance exam twice. I applied to dozens of jobs. Nobody hired me. Even KFC came to my city. 24 people applied. 23 were hired. I was the only one rejected. I laughed, but deep inside, it hurt. It would have been easy to quit, to say, maybe I'm not meant for success. But I didn't. I took every rejection and I carried it like fire in my chest. You have two choices when the world says no. You either believe them or you believe in you. And I chose to believe in myself. Rejection doesn't define you. Your response to it does. Some people take rejection and let it break them. They stop trying, they shrink, they play it safe. But winners, we use it, we convert it, we feel the pain, and then we push harder. Every no I received was one step closer to a yes that would change everything. The truth is, most people aren't rejected because they're not good enough. They're rejected because the world isn't ready for them yet. You may not get the job. You may not get the recognition. You may not see the results now. But rejection doesn't mean never. It means not yet. And in the waiting, you grow. You sharpen your skills. You toughen your mind. You build your resilience. If I had been accepted by one of those jobs, there would be no Alibaba. There would be no impact. There would be no story to tell. Sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is being rejected, because it forces you to stop begging for opportunities and start creating them. Don't let someone else's no become your personal truth. Don't let rejection plant fear in your heart. Let it plant fire. Let every door that closes give you the courage to build your own. Let every person who walks away free you to walk your own path. Let every doubt thrown at you become fuel for your next move. I always tell people, the bigger your dream, the louder the rejection. That's a sign that you're going in the right direction. Don't be discouraged. Be dangerous. Be relentless. People will reject you before they respect you. They'll laugh before they listen. But one day, when your work speaks louder than their words, they'll ask, "How did you do it?" Smile. Because you turned their rejection into your revolution. In a world where everyone wants to be seen, where people rush to show their progress, share their hustle, and announce every step they take, there's something powerful about moving in silence. True growth doesn't always happen under bright lights. It happens in the shadows. It happens when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when no one even knows what you're working on. That's where champions are built. In private, in quiet, in the lonely hours where only you and your vision exist. You don't need to prove anything to anyone while you're still building. People often reveal their plans too early, hoping to gain support, hoping for encouragement. but instead they attract doubt, distraction, and even silent envy. What they don't realize is, not everyone wants to see you win. Some people smile in front of you and hope you fall behind. That's why privacy is not just peace, it's protection. When you move in silence, you take away their ability to interfere. When they don't know your next step, they can't block it, mock it, or copy it. They can only watch when it's done. When I was building Alibaba, we didn't shout. We didn't post every update. We didn't tell the world what we were working on. We stayed quiet. We stayed low, and we built something so powerful that by the time people realized what we had done, it was already too big to stop. That's what happens when you choose silence over show. That's what happens when you water your seeds in private. They bloom in public, and the world stands in awe. Growth isn't always glamorous. It's not always exciting. Sometimes it's painful, repetitive, and invisible. But just because it's not seen doesn't mean it's not real. Think of bamboo. It stays underground for years before it suddenly shoots up meters high in just weeks. Why? Because real growth takes time. It takes roots, and those roots are built in silence. Your journey is no different. Don't rush to reveal. Don't chase applause. Chase improvement. Chase mastery. Be so focused on evolving that you forget to check if anyone's noticing. The right people will notice when the time is right, and the ones who ignored you when you were quiet will pretend they always believed in you. Let them. Your job is not to prove, your job is to build. Silence is a strategy. Privacy is power. In a world addicted to noise, being low-key is a superpower. Let your daily grind be invisible. Let your progress surprise them. Let your peace protect you from distractions that destroy potential. Some of your biggest breakthroughs will come when you're completely off the radar, when you're working not to impress, but to improve. The more you grow in silence, the more unshakable you become. Because the strongest trees grow in the toughest soil, and no one sees the roots until they bear fruit. So stay grounded, stay focused, trust the process. Be okay with being unseen today, because one day your success will speak so loudly, you won't have to say a word. And when that moment comes, when your results shine so bright they can't be ignored, remember this: it wasn't the noise that built you. It was the discipline, the consistency, the quiet work done in the dark. So keep moving in silence. Keep growing in private, because that's where the real magic happens, far away from the crowd and deep within yourself. So if you take anything from this message today, let it be this: you don't need to tell everyone your story. You don't need to prove your worth to those who never saw your value. You don't need to announce your every move, explain your dreams, or justify your journey, because the truth is, you are not building for noise. You are building for impact. Let them misunderstand you. Let them doubt you. Let them talk. While they're distracted by words, you'll be building with action. While they're waiting to see results, you'll be quietly becoming the person no one believed you could be. Your story is still being written, and the most powerful chapters are the ones no one knows about. The late nights, the quiet pain, the silent wins. That's the foundation. That's where greatness is born. In silence, in solitude, in self-belief. One day, the world will see what you've built. They'll call it success. They'll call it talent. They'll call it luck. But you'll know it was discipline. It was patience. It was choosing to grow when no one was watching. So walk your path. Protect your vision. Trust your journey. And never forget, your silence is not emptiness. It's preparation. Your privacy is not weakness. It's power. Let your success be your story. Let your results be your voice. And when it's time, let the world hear you without saying a single word.